Right now, CAA is ramping up its campaign to defeat another extreme rent control measure coming from Michael Weinstein that's headed for the statewide ballot. As he's done twice before, Weinstein, president of AHF, is using taxpayer dollars intended for health care to attack the Costa-Hawkins Rental Housing Act. Now, recently, Weinstein's measure, the so-called Justice for Renters Act, qualified for the November 5th, 2024 general election. If successful, Weinstein's measure could outright repeal Costa-Hawkins, which is California's most important rental housing protection law. Without this 1995 landmark legislation, cities and counties would again be empowered to impose strict forms of rent control on all apartments, regardless of their age, and all single-family homes in California. At present, under Costa-Hawkins, local governments are forbidden from imposing rent control on any single-family homes, as well as newer apartments, which means multifamily buildings constructed after February 1st, 1995, and much earlier in some cities that enacted rent control before Costa-Hawkins became law. Now, without Costa-Hawkins, cities would again be empowered to impose vacancy control, meaning they'd be able to continue regulating rents between tenancies. At present, landlords can raise rents to market rates at turnover. But without vacancy control, there's no interruption in rent control. It just stays in place, which means no matter how many times the unit turns over, the owner has no opportunity to bring rates to market. And such a policy leads to property deterioration and stifled investment in housing. In response, CAA has reactivated Californians for Responsible Housing. That's the same campaign committee that defeated Weinstein's previous two attacks on Costa-Hawkins, Propositions 10 and 21. To support this campaign committee, CAA has hired a cadre of seasoned pollsters, campaign consultants, legal advisors, and media relations specialists. At the same time, CAA is sponsoring its own ballot measure aimed at preventing Weinstein from misusing taxpayer dollars on future rent control campaigns or other political ventures unrelated to the core healthcare mission of AHF. This will mark a huge change for Weinstein, who has consistently relied on tax dollars for AHF to fund his political campaigns. In fact, Politico has recently reported that Weinstein has funneled upwards of $100 million toward political ventures in recent years. And get this, if his latest rent control measure fails, he's already vowed to try again, saying he'll keep bringing this measure back until he gets what he wants. CAA's statewide initiative, the Protect Patients Now Act, would introduce safeguards to prevent the AHF from misspending taxpayer dollars intended for patient care. Should it become law, offending organizations could face severe repercussions, including potential investigations and loss of federal funding. CAA's dual campaigns aim to defeat both Weinstein's current rent control measure and prevent him from misusing taxpayer dollars to fund future rent control campaigns. In the coming weeks, CAA will provide details on how rental housing providers can help defeat Weinstein's latest attack on housing and support CAA's Protect Patients Now Act. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, I'm Mike Nemeth.